The success of Animal House encouraged a slew of raunchy comedies throughout the 80s. These movies made Peeping Tom look like regular Tom. Every single film was seemingly court-mandated to include at least one gratuitous voyeurism scene, usually becoming each movie's most infamous moment. But what happens when you mix this sleazy subgenre with a classic movie monster? Dracula would just be uncomfortable. The Mummy is best kept under wraps. The Invisible Man? Ah, a perfect premise to invite endless TNA, as well as some fun dispatches along the way. Combine that with an unfortunate behind-the-scenes tragic element that since mars the film, and you are left with The Invisible Maniac. Released in 1990, awkwardly slap bang between the subgenre's early 80s peak and its revival at the millennium, The Invisible Maniac features a bare-bones plot. It knows its viewers are more interested in skin, after all. As a young lad, Kevin Dornwinkle is already a very gifted scientist, but we're told he is prone to emotional outbursts, and we're shown he is prone to spying on attractive neighbours flaunting themselves to nobody in particular. Crikey, we're one split diopter shot from being a De Palma film. Oh yes, the Hitchcock influences are in full swing, as Kevin is caught by his overbearing, bullying mother. He receives a lecture straight out of Norma Bates' Guide to Parenting. Women are disgusting, evil, stay away, yada yada yada. 20 years later, Kevin has aged 40 years. He ignored the temptations of the fairest sex and their evil dancing, and grew into a somewhat respected scientist. I say somewhat because his bold claims of inventing an invisibility serum end in ridicule.
I can still see you, Dr. Dornwinkle.
The experiment fails, and the repressed boy inside awakes, violently, distributing a briefcase to the face. Kevin has committed quadruple homicide, generally frowned upon in the scientific community. So he flees and hides in plain sight as a high school teacher.
Now I would like you to meet your new physics teacher, Dr. Kevin Smith.
He's such a dork. I mean, anybody that passionate about something as stupid as
The Millennium Falcon.
he's gonna be a complete idiot.
It's summer, and these students are held back to fix their grades. Looking at their faces, they've been held back at least 10 years already. On the sly, Kevin continues to work on his serum, and eventually succeeds.
HS3?
Well, it's much less costly than HS2. Oh, political satire. The invisibility serum makes him vanish, finally free to be unrestrained by a lifetime of strict rules, which predictably nurtures his darker side to take control. The timid teacher hangs around in showers, locker rooms, just about anywhere he can catch a glimpse of his constantly undressing pupils. But it's not all towel-whipping goodness, I'm sad to say, because he keeps overhearing their snide remarks. They mock Kevin, they scheme to abuse his horndog, shy boy nature, and even give him the bucket. It's a minor drizzle, but it's a minor drizzle enough to send him over the edge, leading to the horror at last. This second half of the film is so much more enjoyable. While his attacks on the female students typically revolve around tearing off clothing, again and again, the filmmakers do sometimes remember that they can have some actual fun with the concept. Kevin haunts a kid by showing himself in the water of a fish tank. He defeats one of them by forcing a large sandwich down his gullet, which is both repulsive and makes me very hungry for a Subway. The scenes where the boys struggle to fight back against the Invisible Maniac are pretty funny. Sadly, these moments are mere glimpses, drops in an ocean mainly consisting of poor dialogue and superior boobage. The lead actor, Noel Peters, is good enough. He's one of these acting enigmas where he's got this big lead role, then a role in some random Cinderella adaptation years later, and absolutely fuck all else. Who is this guy? Well, not to sound like a locker room blonde, but he's kind of annoying to look at, so I'm glad he turns invisible. Oh, but careful what you wish for. You can't see him, so now you have to listen to him. His constant maniacal laughter is Claude Rains' cackle mixed with the 60s Joker and Mad Jack laced with PCP. I would say mute the TV, but you'd miss out on the sweet punk rock theme tune and be inevitably accused of only watching this film for one reason. The rest of the cast, these quote-unquote kids, don't have award-winning material to work with, but they're fine for a cheap sleazy comedy. They know what they're in. The most notable among them is Shannon Wilsey, aka Savannah, a notorious adult film star of her day. The Invisible Maniac was the beginning of a very short-lived acting career, her other most famous entry being Sorority House Massacre 2, with Invisible Maniac co-star Melissa Moore. Bass guitarist Billy Sheehan, one of her many high-profile exes, recounted how embarrassed Shannon felt about her performance. At the premiere, she was unable to differentiate between the audience laughing at the jokes in this comedy film or mocking laughter at her expense. It indicated a severely self-critical and self-loathing trait. Shannon decided to limit herself to the adult industry instead, though she didn't enjoy that either, leading to drinks, drugs, and drama. In 1994, a car crash resulted in a broken nose and other minor facial injuries. That same self-loathing and paranoia flared up again, and, fearing she would be permanently disfigured, the actress took a gun and prematurely ended her story. This knowledge makes The Invisible Maniac, with its similar themes, a quite painful watch at times. She's no worse than any other actor in these types of movies. It's sad. Who knows what could have been if she had kept on this trajectory instead. As for the movie itself, you get what you came for. It's not terribly funny as a comedy. A lot of the nerd stereotyping, the bow ties, the name Dawnwinkle feels so very outdated now, but again, you know what you're getting into. The horror is lacking, and those little sparks of ingenuity show that with a little more effort and less filler, this film could easily have had a larger cult following today. Or maybe it matters not, as Paul Verhoeven would still be waiting around the corner to make a better, big-budget version of an invisible murdery pee-pee Tommy. There was a sequel planned. I was a teenage Invisible Maniac, but it never came to fruition. Maybe that follow-up could have taken more chances. The ending of the existing film is one of its best sequences, and leaves it open for such an opportunity. Spoilers for a 35-year-old sleazefest coming up! The surviving student confronts Kevin at home, but this time it's a level playing field, as both characters inject the serum. At first I just thought it was an amusing way to portray a final confrontation, one where you can't see crap all. Then I wondered if it was a budgetary cop-out. Then I realised it was narrative gold. The shotgun goes off. A brutal corpse is left behind. The cops arrive, find the headless body in Kevin's home along with some empty syringes, and presume he's offed himself. Again, uncomfortable with that knowledge. But yeah, they think he's dead, so Kevin, no longer hunted by the police for his opening spree, is truly free to really wreak havoc. A sequel could have gone bonkers, especially if it stayed as blackly comic as this part. Oh well, never mind, look over there! Another shower scene, woohoo!